Ei, é o salame, babak no papier, é o salame, zinzal bem, é o salame, ei, ei.
Hey queen! Girl, you have done it again. Hi guys, my name is Indigo and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm fully aware that my tutorials honestly are just for entertainment purposes. I do not expect anybody to ever recreate them because they're just so ridiculous. But not this one. Like this one is actually going to be very helpful. I think this is by far my most perfected base makeup technique. It really just makes my face look so much more like chic. It just basically looks overall just more like snatched. It gives me like that facelift effect, which I absolutely live for. And I know that a lot of other people also live for that as well. So I'm going to be showing you guys what I do. I'm actually only going to do half of my face so that way you guys can see the difference, because there is definitely a very big difference. So first and foremost, I'm going to start off with my foundation. You can use any foundation that you want, but preferably you want something that's full coverage for this type of contour, I guess. Mainly because this is geared towards kind of like changing the frame of your face. So if you use something lighter, it might not be as efficient. Let me get my little mirror that I forgot. Ooh. Oh my god, that's offensive to me and my homegirls. I'm gonna trail my foundation all the way to the center of my face. Recently, there's been a trend going around called the fox eye trend, which is actually what I've been doing for quite some time now. And with this whole trend, I'd actually like to point out that this whole fox eye trend actually has been done by Arabic women and Middle Eastern women for quite some time now. So I find it really interesting that when it came to the States, it suddenly had a new name. I'm also going to put the foundation on the center of my forehead compared to as where I would have put concealer before. Also, if you use primer and you do like that primer, then baking powder and then foundation thing, go ahead and do that. This is just the way that I do it because this is like what my skin likes. Also, I'm sure that there's other ways to do this technique. I know the professional makeup artists do this type of technique and they do it much differently, but they get the same outcome, probably better than mine because I'm not a professional, but this is just what works for me. And then next I'm going to grab my Tarte concealer. It can be any concealer, preferably once again full coverage. And we're just going to erase all the mistakes and nights that anyways, now mind you guys, I'm using so much right now, but that is because I'm on camera and this is going to look better on camera for you guys. However, if I was doing it in person, I would definitely use a lot less, much less than this. We're talking about like 3 tiny little dots. I do have a video explaining the difference between camera makeup and everyday makeup, and I can link that right over here. And you guys can apply that information to any YouTube video that you watch. So just be aware that there is definitely a difference between, you know, everyday makeup and makeup that's underneath studio lights and stuff. I'm going to be trilling that up to my forehead as well. Already by doing the bare minimum, we're already looking so snatchy. Yeah. This is where things start getting a little bit different. So you guys may have been seeing me do this recently. However, I haven't like fully addressed it. I should put 2 dots of concealer right here. And then I also put 2 dots of concealer on my temples. And then we're just going to kind of marry that concealer to the under eye. And then we're also going to blend it upwards. Look at that. See how that kind of extends my cheekbone all the way to up here, whereas down here it just kind of goes straight down. It gives us like that elevated look. And then we're also going to blend out the one on the temple. And the reason I do that is because it kind of narrows the forehead in the center and it gives it a much more narrower kind of appearance. I don't know the full science and explanation behind it just yet, but I'm sure eventually I will. And then when I do, I'll tell you guys. And I like to kind of add a little more concealer to my mustache area because I'm not really a fan of color correcting. I don't really see like a necessity in it, mainly because my discoloration really isn't that deep. If it really does bother me one day, then I will. If you guys do want to color correct and you guys want to know how to color correct properly, I can make a video on it, but I feel like Robert Welsh does a very good job at explaining it in this video, so I'll just link that right over there. And then I'm just going to grab some Fenty Beauty setting powder and I'm going to set my under eyes. And this is where things start getting very interesting. This next part I'd be very careful with. In fact, if I were only going to be doing everyday type of makeup just for a regular event, I would skip out on everything except for the, I'm flicking you guys off, I'm dead. I'd skip out on everything except for the baking of this area right here, and I'll show you guys in a second. However, this technique is very good if you have very oily skin, or if you're gonna be in front of a camera with studio lighting, or if you are a performer, like a singer, a dancer, or any type of like performing arts where you're gonna be on a stage far away from people, and where you're gonna be sweating a lot. This will definitely lock everything in place. I'm gonna be baking like the side of my nose, and I'm also gonna bake my temples. That's a sentence. I'm gonna bake my temples. And then on my chin, and then right there on the cheekbone. And like I said, this is the only part that I would actually do if you don't qualify for those terms and you're doing this for every single day. And that is to bake this area of your face, which is kind of like I don't even know what to call this, like the high cheekbone kind of area. Really just pack that on there. Also, something else that I really like to do to get that elevated look is that I will do that facelift kind of motion, and then I'll drop it, and then I'll follow that line that I had, if that makes sense. So I'll make the line, and then I'll keep track of it, and then I'll, with the product, go over that same line that was there before. Am I making sense? I hope I am. What I'm trying to say is the line is right here, right now, right? And then when I drop it, it's gonna be able to, so like that. Okay, and then there the line is now, right? And then I'll go back in and clean it up. Some people like to leave this on for a long time. I don't really like to do that. I just kind of like to get things done as fast as possible. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start doing my blush. I actually do my blush first. This is California by Benefit Cosmetics, by the way. I do it first because I use the same exact brush for bronzer and blush. So I like to go from lightest to dark. And you know, I'll just keep that within the same boundaries as like this little contour placement that I've put on. Now, if you guys have seen any of my videos at all, you guys know that I like I don't know why I'm burping so much today. I like blush a lot. So you don't have to do it as intense as I am doing it, but I like blush. I like blush. Blush is a fun time. And then I'll also put it on the underneath of my chin because I like it like that. I said I like it like that. We're already starting to see a huge change here. Look at that. Cool. And then I'm gonna do my bronzer. Now, this is technically my contouring step. And the reason that this is my contouring step is because being a man and being kind of slender, I do naturally have a very contoured face already. So I don't really have to do much contouring. So that's why I kind of just go in with the bronzer because it just emphasizes what I already have. And I'll put that around my little hairline. My little hairline. What is this, Littlest Pet Shop? And I'm actively avoiding this area because I'm not going to contour what I already like snatched upwards. And then I'll just put some bronzer over here. And then I bronze underneath my jaw. And it doesn't give you that weird beard effect that some contour methods do. You know, like, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to show you like, it's not working. Okay, whatever, but you get what I mean. Like sometimes you just do that and you see like that harsh line. This ain't gonna do that. And then a little bit underneath my nostrils. And then whatever excess bronzer I have on the brush, I'm just going to brush that on the side of my nose like so. I'm kind of like pinching it flat. If you feel more comfortable with any brushes, go ahead and use them. I'm just really big on efficiency, so if I can do everything with one singular brush, I'm there for it. And then now that we've got that done, I'm going to do my eye socket, which is like the most important part of this entire thing. And I'm just gonna get brown eyeshadow. Any brown eyeshadow works, preferably a dark one that kind of matches your skin tone. This is especially good for hooded eyes, by the way. It really makes you look so much more awake. I'm literally blending on my actual brow bone out here, and I'm going to trail that up to the side. If you guys see that. I do this for any look that I do at all, just so it gives me like that snatch effect. This doesn't have to do anything with my actual eyeshadow that I'm doing at all. And then I'll kind of like trail that into the nose contour. And then I'm just gonna brush off all that powder because we don't need her now, she's trash. Oh, y'all saw the flick of the wrist on that one? Period. And then to fully emphasize this transition, I'm going to be using the Dragon Beauty Transformation Powder with a highlighting brush. Once again, better for camera than it is for in-person kind of stuff. I typically focus it around the center of the eye, like more inwards, as you guys can see right now. You can use any brightening powder, by the way. You don't have to use this one. You don't have to use any of the products that I'm using. This should work with anything else that kind of fits among the same type of criteria that it does. And I'll also specifically focus it on that little kind of arch. Obviously, you can tailor this thing to your likeness. You don't have to have it as harsh as I have it. I just really do like that very cut moment. And then I'll also put it on the temple area. Okay, so off camera, I just kind of did a little technique that I have with my lips, and I'm not going to disclose it in this video because I'm going to do an entire video all about it. However, I have pointed out that technique that I do very quickly in some videos. So if you really want to know, you can check out my other videos. So as you can see, here is with the makeup, and then here is without it. It's not as drastic as an actual facelift obviously would be, because that's literally a surgery and this is just makeup. But this is definitely a quick and short-term way to kind of get that elevated look if you ever need it for a very specific event, or if you just want to do it as your regular routine like I do. Okay, so I just went ahead and did the other side just to kind of show it in full action. Now, obviously this does not look finished because this is not the finished product. This is just the base, and then you do whatever eyeshadow look you want to do. I tend to do eyeliners that'll like trace that same exact line that I have, so it gives me even more like affected arch kind of type look. And then I'll also do like an inner eyeliner just to kind of like I can put a couple examples right over here just so you can kind of see some examples. Possibilities are endless, but I'm just going to stop it right here because I don't want to take away the focus of the video, which is the base. And yeah, that's kind of what I do just whenever I get in front of a camera, just to kind of have like a more elevated type of facelift without a surgery type of look. And that is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like my art, if you guys like my energy, please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on my Instagram down below if you don't already, and I will see you guys in the future. Bye-bye.